Hello and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas for Nyxus Gaming. We're picking up right where we left off last time, literally right after I just recorded the first part. We just finished the Back in the Saddle quest, made our character, got all our stats done. I lied, it wasn't Back in the Saddle, that's what we are doing this episode. We finished the Ain't That a Kick in the Head quest. And without ado, let's get going. Starting off in Doc Mitchell's house, right where we left off. Let's go ahead and head outside. We have discovered Goodsprings. We're going to get a few unlocks here, mainly the main DLC for the game. We aren't going to tackle any DLC until after the main game, but this will give you a good idea for what you're in for. First, we got Old World Blues. If you like science fiction, you'll enjoy Old World Blues. Has a lot of cyber dogs, robots, different inventions, crazy stuff happening in it. Again, it'll be for a later time. Each main DLC increases our level cap by 5 up to 50. So you'll see that message popping up here. Increased by 5. Next we have the Reunion. This is for the Lonesome Road DLC, which will probably be the big finale to the main part of the series, because I feel like it's just a really good finale. Again, level cap increased by 5. Now we got Happy Trails, which is Honest Hearts. It doesn't have a lot to do with the other DLC, if you ask me, so we'll probably do that one first, but again, after the main game. Got that level cap. There's one more that's gonna pop here in a second. I'm trying to wait for that to pop before I do anything. There we go. Oh, I forgot about this one. Gunrunner's Arsenal. It just adds a few challenges to the game that you can do for different perks and stuff. More weapons and stuff. Fun stuff. It does not increase your level cap though. And I'm still waiting for that last one before I talk to this guy here. There we go. The Sierra Madre grand opening. It is for the Dead Money DLC, which is a, you either love it or you hate it DLC. I think it was interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the gameplay in it though. We'll tackle that later, again with all the other ones. And there's that cap boost. Now let's go ahead and get started by talking to this guy, Victor.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
This is the guy that dug us out of the grave and brought us to the doctor so we can thank him.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
We can also, again, ask him about the people who attacked me.
Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
And again, he's just going to point us to the other people in town.
Happy trails!
Namely, the saloon, which is right there. So let's go ahead and head on into the saloon.
Cheyenne, stay. Don't worry, she won't bite unless I tell her to.
This is Sunny Smiles here. She's going to serve as the basic tutorial for the game. Teach us how to survive out in the desert.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
Now we're going to go ahead and head outside and follow her. It takes a while because she walks slow. So, no time wasted here. A lot of time wasted here. We could be shooting stuff. Come on, let's go. Except we aren't going to shoot stuff. We're going to be a melee boy.
Now, see the sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit a couple of them.
Alright, she equips a rifle to us, so we can try and hit these bottles. If you just shoot from here, chances are you're not going to hit. I'm on PC, so I can click the right mouse button to kind of aim on the sights. If you're using a controller or some other play method, it'll probably be different. But you see here, you're still swaying while aiming down sights. So again, you can crouch. You will be perfectly still.
That's the right idea. Look down
just shoot,
try crouching down and
shoot,
staying still.
and
Shot.
shoot.
Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles. Tell you what, I gotta go chase geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
And now we get to go fight some real enemies.
Follow me. It's just down to the southeast a short ways.
But first, we're gonna equip our preferred method of attack. Little tutorials here. This here is our Pip-Boy, by the way. It serves as our basic menus for the game. We got the stats menu, which has all our stats, specials, skills, perks, and our reputations here. We got our items menu, our weapons, apparel, aid, miscellaneous, which is just random stuff like bobby pins and stuff. And then we got our ammo for the game. Ammo is going to be weightless unless you're in hardcore mode, so it really doesn't matter how much you have. If you're playing with a gun, you might as well collect all the ammo you can. Then we got our data screen here. It has the radio, which we're not going to be listening to. Our miscellaneous, which is notes and stuff. We can check here. This was on us whenever we were shot. Basically, our instructions for the delivery. Deliver it to the Vegas Strip by way of Freeside. Someone's going to show up and take the package and pay you. You take the payment to Johnson Nash at Prim, and you get 250 cabs. The package contained one oversized poker chip composed of platinum, and here are all our basic penalties if we don't do it. The Mojave Express is not responsible for any injury or loss of life you experience as a result of said reclamation efforts. So that's fun. Go ahead and click that. That's grayed out, so we know we read it. Go over here. Here are all our quests. That's going to be a main story quest. We'll complete that as we go. These next four are all our DLC quests, which we'll do after the main story. And back in the saddle is this tutorial quest we're doing now. We got a world map here. There's not a lot on it, only the DLC locations that are marked. Other than that, all we have is Goodsprings here, where we started, and our local map, which just kind of shows you all the buildings and stuff in the local area. Not really going to use that much, gonna be honest. So let's go ahead and follow Sonny. Oh, never mind, I forgot the main reason we opened up Pip-Boy. We're gonna equip this broad machete, equip some armor here, and get going before we do this. Thankfully, she is running here to get ahead of the game. It's not gonna go slow. But I do know exactly where we're going, so I'm just gonna rush ahead and get it done. Get a nice look at the wasteland here. A bunch of ruined buildings everywhere. Road that's not in great condition, but hey, at least they have a road, right? And just kind of the desert-like structures everywhere. I feel like out of all the Fallout games, this one truly is a wasteland, because there's just not a lot around anywhere, you know? Yet there's still a lot of exploration you can do to get to know the area. The first geckos we're going to want to kill are right past this ridge area, I believe, at the well here. We see a red thing on our radar on the bottom left there. That denotes there's an enemy up here. So we're melee. So we're just gonna start swinging. Easy. You can check the bodies. I usually like to collect hides because, I mean, they're alright money. I don't really collect the meat or the eggs or anything though. Before we go back to talk to her, I do want to check here real quick. Can't remember if what I'm looking for is here or further down the road. I guess it's further down the road, so we can go ahead and talk to her and see what she wants us to do next.
See? You're getting the hang of it. There's 2 more wells that still need clearing. You want, you can come along. It'd be worth a few caps to me. Shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, especially with 2 of us. Come with me.
Alright, now we're heading to the next 2 wells to kill more geckos. These ones are marked on our map, thankfully. So if you don't know where you're going, you don't have to follow her. You can go straight there. Here are the next 2 geckos here. Go ahead and loot these hides real quick. Oh, there is one more behind me. It is dead. Again, get that hide. And you want to kind of move to the next location pretty quickly. Take them out, otherwise someone is going to die. It's no big deal if she does die. But you do get a little bit of an extra reward for saving her.
Care of that.
Go ahead and get your hides. Again, nothing on that one. Talk to her.
Holy moly. If you hadn't come here like you done, I'd be a goner for sure. I came up here to draw water, but here, you should have what I got. You look thirsty.
Also, for saving her, you get a little bit of a reputation boost for Goodsprings. I'm now accepted here for my helpful nature. And she gives you 3 purified water. Go ahead and talk to Sonny.
Now that was some good work. Even got a little exciting there at the end. Here's a little spending money for the trouble. One more thing I wanted to show you. Thought I might teach you about living off the land and making useful things for yourself. Interested? Alright then. We'll need a couple ingredients to get started. Gonna want some xander root and a brock flower. Let me think now. I know I've seen brock flowers growing up at the graveyard, and I seem to remember there being xander root over by the schoolhouse. Bring those on back to me, and we'll get cooking.
Next little tutorial here is basically a cooking and crafting tutorial. She's gonna want us to go get a few supplies, and then come back to her to do some cooking. First though, I wanna see if something's here somewhere. Because we'll want to use it at the graveyard. I'm not seeing it though. I remember it being by one of these wells. It might be the one that we just kind of skipped over. So we'll go ahead and head back up there and find it. After that, we'll go ahead and fast travel back to Goodsprings. And once we get back to Goodsprings, we'll head up to the cemetery to find that brock flower. Is it over here? I don't see it over here. So I'm pretty sure it's by this one that we skipped. All these dead geckos. You're going to be seeing a lot of geckos here in the beginning, because they're just basic enemies. There it is. We want that shovel. Now, at any time, you can open up your Pip-Boy, go into data in the world map, and you can fast travel to any location you discovered. We'll fast travel back to Goodsprings, that way we can get to the cemetery faster. We appear here right next to the saloon. The cemetery is up on that hill there. There's also a few other things you want to grab at the cemetery. I'm going to point those out for you and grab them myself. But as you're approaching the hill, you're going to see another red dot appear on your radar here. The first enemy at the cemetery meets you down the hill. It is a bark scorpion. Now, since we are melee, we're going to want to be careful around scorpions, because they do have a tendency to poison you. I'm not sure if the bark scorpion can poison you, but the rad scorpions definitely can, so they might be an issue to us down the line. That's why it's good to have anti-venom, like the one we picked up in Doc Mitchell's house, way over there. For when we do that, getting up to the cemetery, we have 4 bloatflies flying around. It's pretty easy to kill, especially if you have a gun. It might sway a little bit, so you'll want to use VATS. VATS, you press V on the keyboard. Basically, it lets you target specific parts of the enemy at percentages based on where you're aiming for. That's the wrong button. And the better you are with guns, the more percentage you'll have to be able to hit. That percentage is basically how likely you are to hit. But again, pretty easy either way. Bloat flies, they don't have anything useful on them, so you don't have to worry about looting them unless you really want the meat. The reason we wanted the shovel is so we can dig up these graves, see what's in them. It's all random loot. We got another varmint rifle there. We got some bottle caps here, some more money. Some 12 gauge rounds. Some magnum rounds if you want to use a magnum. More magnum rounds. But no magnum that I'm seeing. I think that is the last grave though. You want to come over here. Get the snow globe. Those act as collectibles in the game. They're in various areas. They don't give stat boosts like the bobbleheads in 3 did. But they're still collectibles, so you want to grab them. If you come over here, this is the grave that you're going to be buried in. Victor unburied you. All the dirt's here. You want to grab these distinctive cigarette butts. They will become somewhat important later on, far down in the game. So we're up here. We're looking for a Brock flower. Right over here. Go ahead and grab that. And we're all done there. We're all done here at the cemetery. So what we can do, we can go ahead and fast travel back down to Goodsprings and make our way over to the schoolhouse. Schoolhouse is going to be that red building way over there. There are going to be more enemies there, so be prepared. They aren't going to be bloat flies, scorpions, or geckos though. We're gonna go fight some mantises. Yes, mantises. A lot of the enemies in Fallout are gonna be basic bugs and stuff that we live with in the real world, but the radiation has kind of turned them into monsters. Another thing I want to go over while I'm here, you want to kind of check these mailboxes as you pass them, because they can contain some good loot, like a locksmith's reader. I mainly check them for these skill magazines. Skill magazines, what they're going to do is give you a temporary boost to skill if you need it, and we'll probably need that for the first part of this this game in Goodsprings if we want to hit anything. Here are the enemies here, giant mantis nymphs. They aren't going to have anything useful on them, so don't really worry about looting them. There are 2 outside the house, or schoolhouse. Go ahead and grab your Xander root here. You only need 1. Let's head in real quick, because there's some stuff for us in here. First off, there are more mantises dotted around in here. Pretty easy to kill, much easier than the bloat flies or the geckos, honestly. Again, don't worry about looting them. Do want to take a good look around here though. There's some good stuff, a Programmer's Digest, another skill magazine. There's a Salesman Weekly here, yet another skill magazine. I always grab those when I see them because they can come in handy when you can't exactly do a skill check. Do especially want to come over here. This is why I said that lockpicking and science are always interchangeable. Usually when you can't lock or open a locked safe because you don't have a skill level of 25 to do it, you can usually find a terminal nearby that'll do it for you if you hack it through science. And we do have a big science, so we can't do that. Now this is hacking. Basically you want to guess the password in 4 attempts. What I'll usually do is I'll just click the first password here. It's 4 out of 7. And you see that most of these have ing on the end of them, so I'm going to guess that 3 of those 4 are the ing that I just chose. So all I really got to do is compare the first 4 letters. This has an A with raid, so I'll do that. That basically just confirms that maybe it's that A and the ing, so I'm really only looking for words that have those similarities, like farming. Again, it's the same. Now we only have 1 attempt left. It might be dancing, it might be waiting, It might be hanging. There are a few different ones that it could be, so I'm gonna show you a little trick here. If you look around in all this code, find any that are like bracketed off like this, you can click them, and occasionally they'll refill your attempts. So we go back through dancing, that is 5 out of 7. So it has an extra one like hanging here. That is it. So we just hacked open this terminal here, and we have the option to disengage the lock. Go ahead and power it off, and the safe's open. We got some bottle caps, some Mentats, a stealth boy, a super stim pack. You can grab the pre-war money if you want. It's a kind of a different currency. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. Go ahead and look through here. There probably won't be too much of use in here though. This game isn't like Fallout 4, you can't just grab everything and scrap it, sadly. You got some more bobby pins here. If you do want to go the route with lock picking that and your bobby pins break. So that's a little useful there. That is everything we need here in the schoolhouse though, so we can go ahead and leave. We will travel back to the source here to get back to Sunny. Sunny's gonna be down here by the campfire, waiting for us.
Let me see what you got. Yeah, these'll do just fine. Just fine. Alright now, we're gonna be making something folks on the trail call healing powder. Go on over to that campfire now. Give it a try.
And again, this is just your basic cooking tutorial. You can find a campfire if you have the appropriate materials. You can craft various food and stuff to heal you. All we have right now is for the healing powder, so we'll go ahead and make one of those. That's all we can make.
Hey, that's not bad, see? All it takes to make a recipe is the right ingredients and the right know-how. Sometimes it won't be a campfire you need. Might need to do some work on your guns and ammo, maybe. Important thing to get is it's all the same idea. You just need to find the right place to set up shop. Workbench or reloading bench, whatever. Well, I hope that's enough to get you started. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't miss anything good on the jukebox. Cheyenne would never forgive me. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
And again, she's pointing us back to the saloon. Before we go there though, we're gonna ask her a few questions.
Hi there. Sticking around Goodsprings for a while longer?
We can ask for a route to Prim.
Sure can. Take the road southeast out of town till it hits the freeway. Prim is the town with the roller coaster straight south. Can't miss it. NCR patrols do a good job of keeping the highway clear, but I'd keep your gun where you can reach it easily. You never know who you'll run into. Off the road, you'll probably start running into hostile wildlife. My advice would be to stick to the highway when you can.
We can ask her if there's any work available.
Not in Goodsprings, no. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it, take these.
She's gonna point us to the schoolhouse. We've already been there, but she will give us stuff to crack that safe. We already cracked it.
Oh. Well, go ahead and keep the stuff I gave you anyway. It'll be more useful to you than me.
And it's just some free stuff.
Until next time.
And that is the basic tutorial of the game done. We're gonna go ahead and fast travel back to Goodsprings here. And I think we're gonna end it there. Next episode, we're gonna get into kind of the main quest of Goodsprings here. See what is going on in town and try and help out the settlers here. Gonna go ahead and pause it, and I'll end the recording here. Again, always a pleasure. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.